All right, everybody, new merch. We got some art done by artist Thomas C. Rogers. You may have seen some of his collabs with Devils of Dirt Hawking. He has also done some extensive work with Harley Davidson. There's no AI done here on our merch. Of course, our thumbnails are always AI, but check it out on sportingchancepod.com. We got pullovers, zip-ups, long sleeves, t-shirts, and of course, stickers.
And this podcast is brought to you by Mountain State Falconry Supply. Freshen up your gear or get ready for the micro season. Visit mountainstatefalconrysupply.com.
And don't forget to get the tightest braided equipment on the market at midnightfalconry.com.
If you haven't put a deposit down on your next hunting partner, now's the time. Contact Seth Roy at northmountaingoshawks.com for your next season's hunting partner.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of the Sporting Chance. Casey, how are you today?
Doing well.
Doing well. So my old buddy Casey here, if you follow him on social media, I think that he likes this more than falconry, is cooking maple, or not, it's not maple, walnut syrup.
Black walnut, and that's blasphemy.
Dude, when I saw your setup, like
my setup is so ghetto, dude. It
looks so serious. Like you're taking this real seriously.
I really wish I was taking it more seriously, because my evaporator was from Amazon. It was like the most expensive thing is the evaporator. It's like $150.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a stainless steel evaporation pan that has like a tap on the side, like threads, and you screw a ball valve onto it. And then basically you put it over fire or over propane and you just cook off the syrup. It's like really simple.
So you're cooking off the syrup. It's evaporating the water, I guess.
You're rendering it down.
You're rendering it.
You got to render it down. No, you just tap the tree, right? So when the temperatures start fluctuating towards the end of the winter, where it's real cold at night, goes above, freezing during the day, maybe in the 40s, sometimes the 50s, then the trees, which you can't see because it's internal, they're sucking up water, and it's going up, and then at night it's going back down, and then it's going up, and then it's going back down. So you just...
Is that forcing it up to like push out leaf growth?
Yeah, it's stimulating it to get started, growing buds and leaves and stuff like that. It happens with every tree, basically. So lots of trees you can tap for syrup. You can tap, I think you can even tap birch trees. I don't know much about that, but I've read that you can tap birch trees. And then I just stumbled, they're always spying on us. So I bought this property 4 years ago, and the entire property is just black walnut. I have like some really big ones, little ones. Like there's basically nothing else besides cedar and black walnut on my property.
You could dye some traps with those walnut husks.
I could, yeah. I could also deworm my chickens with those walnuts, deworm myself and my children's. And
I recommend that.
And apparently you can tap, and on Instagram, I just happened to see it. And he's like, "Can you make syrup from black walnuts? Let's find out." And then it was just like a video of some guy making syrup, and it's like really dark. They call it black gold. They call it. It's $400 a gallon. For
black gold Texas tea.
Well, I think
you know anything about that?
I know I'm familiar with the phrase, but I think
Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, but no, it's actually, we made it, and like obviously when you shoot an animal or catch an animal with one of your birds and then you eat it, it obviously, and you cook it yourself, it tastes bad. Like, yo, this is gross, amazing. And it's like we cooked it, and it's like I didn't know what I was doing. I just bought like the bare minimum stuff to do it. I bought like a little tapping kit from Amazon, the little tubes, and some food grade buckets to fill up. Well, first I tried just doing it with like food grade stuff, like water jugs, because they're like food grade. And so I'd clean them out. But then like I would go to sleep and then go to work in the morning. I come home from work and the thing is just overflowing everywhere, some of them. I'm like, shoot, I need like more containers. So I got a bunch of buckets, and then it just kind of like kept snowballing, and it's actually really fun and like addicting.
So how many gallons would a tree give you?
Dude, I got like my big ones. Like I got some big ones that probably like 3 feet across, 3 feet around, maybe even more. Dude, they really don't give me that much. But like some of the little skinny ones, like the scraggly ones, dude, they're just like spitting syrup, dude. just flowing out, dude. Oozing out.
Sexy. So
smearing out of it.
is that like a known thing that smaller trees will produce more syrup?
I think it's just understood that every tree is different and its location, and the same thing like with trees and like a lot of like whitetail hunters and stuff, they're very much aware of this, and people that are actually involved in like their land and what they're doing. Like you could have like 100 oak trees in one little patch of oaks, and like 4 of them are the only ones that are like putting out real acorns, and the rest are just kind of there. And it's genetic. It is genetic. So I think it's the same with the water. Some people say it's genetic. Some say it's like the location of where they are. It also has to do with where like the sun hits them. So you want to tap them on like the a specific side of the tree, so it flows better, because you want the sun to hit it in the morning and kind of stimulate it, and then it starts going up. And it's basically just sugar water. That's what's coming out of it. But it's it's specific to black walnut, so it's a different type of sugar water than maple. Maple has a lot of sugar content.
It's got a very interesting flavor.
Yeah. It's strong. It's definitely stronger. And then, so this batch we did this year, I tapped it like after the Jersey meet, which was like so stupid. I should have tapped it like in January. And I think, so they say like, I'm not like deep into it. Like I'm into it, but I'm not like deep into it. But I think like the time of the year that you tap has to like affects the sugar level. And guys are like going out there and like testing their sap water, like with like all these gauges and stuff to find out how much sugar it's putting off. Yeah. No, there's like these refractors and like these little devices that you have. I started buying some of them. It's like a lot of it's like really cheap. It's like $15, $20 for like these little, and you can see how much sugar's in the water. And then essentially you just get the evaporating pan boiling with, a bucket of, 5 gallons of sugar water, of sap. And you're basically just cooking off the water, and then you're leaving the sugars, and then you just keep adding more sap, and then you just keep doing that until you're left with like a very not refined, it's concentrated. Basically just cooking it off till you get more sugar than water. And then from there you would take it and put it in a bucket, a pot, and then go in your house, or you could do it outside. And then you would cook it down to the right, the exact, because you can overcook it really easy. And then obviously if there's not enough sugar in it, it won't keep. And then it's like watery and gross. So this batch this year, I think there was less sugar content, and it was fine, but it's even a stronger flavor than last year. My wife thinks it tastes the same, but it tastes a little different to me.
I look forward to getting my jar.
I think it's in the mail, actually.
Nice.
It's on the way down. And it's it's like very dark. I like it a little thicker than because maple, so for example, maple, I believe, is like 40 gallons to 1 gallon of syrup. So you need 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. Black walnut, you need like 75 gallons for 1 gallon of syrup.
Maybe so that's why it hasn't taken off commercially.
Well, yeah. And like I said, it is fairly expensive. It's like, I think like $400 a gallon, depending on where you're getting it from. And
how many gallons did you get this year?
I don't think I even got a gallon. I mean, It may actually, you saw that I posted a picture on my story of all the little jars, the mason jars. It may have equaled a gallon, but I don't know. You're supposed to do it in such a way where you know how many gallons you're adding, and then you can do the math on the sugar content as you're adding it, like each bucket. And like basically like the Falconry Journal app, where like my bird is at this weight, and if it's this cold by 2:37 tomorrow, my bird will be ready to fly. So you could do the same thing with syrup. Like you could be like, all right, I know that I put this much in, the sugar content is this much. By the time I get all the sugar content to where I want it for syrup, I'll have exactly this much syrup. But I just basically just keep cooking it off and testing it, every 3 minutes once it gets close to see where I'm at. And then obviously hot boiling testing is different than cold testing. So I have to calculate that in, because for some reason the sugar content, it like spikes when it cools. So you got to because if it's at 37 bricks and it's boiling, then it's going to shoot up to like 70 when it's cool. So you have to like offset it. And then once it reaches that, you got to like pull it off and start straining it like really quick. Otherwise you'll just overcook it. It's pretty fun. It's a lot of fun. It's not really, it's fun. It's fun. You just kind of just do it. And like, my son loves doing it. He puts a little drill in the tree and we hammer in the little taps. It's really easy to do.
You were scoping out those maple taps in Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at them. Yeah. They were all over. I saw it.
Speaking of Ohio, that's where I got I lived in Ohio when I was a kid. That's where I got my start as a frog jumper.
Let me just set it up. I sent a video to Aaron on Instagram of some little girl. It was a little girl, a little boy. And there's like a bull. It was a little girl. And it was like a bullfrog just sitting in and it looked like an official kind of thing. There was like a line of people on either side. And there's like a bullfrog on the ground and like a little girl in like a little, like overalls and like a little hat. I'm like, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden she just like bends down and then just like lunges at the frog and is like, ha! And then the frog jumps and then she jumps after the frog and screams again. And then the frog jumps again. And I just thought it was like the most hilarious thing. I'm like, Aaron would definitely think this is funny.
It's got the same energy as the girl, like who's like staring at the judge while she's walking the pig.
Yeah. Same exact. It's like same exact, like Midwestern farm country energy. And yeah, like when they got the goats and they're like tapping them on their back and they're like staring at the judge, making eye contact, exact same vibe. And I sent it to Aaron. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, dude, what are your people doing? Or something. Like I made some stupid joke. He responds by sending me a picture of him as a child holding a bullfrog with like a trophy.
Yeah, trophy.
And I'm like, he's like, I was the bullfrog champion. I'm like, of course you were. Of course you were the bullfrog champion.
I was a bullfrog jumping champion, man.
How does one get into that vocation? How do you find yourself there?
You're born into it.
Just born down in the swamp?
Yeah, you're born a bullfrog jumper. You don't become one.
Yeah, you pop out of the womb as a pollywog.
So I'm a frog guy, I know. When I was a kid, my parents said the second I could walk, I was catching frogs. They said they would look out in the backyard and I'm toddling around like as like a 2-year-old, like after toads, like
screaming at them,
just doing everything I can to get my hands on frogs. So I had this big fascination with frogs growing up. And luckily, like where we lived in Ohio, not far from it, there was a frog jump competition that they would do every year. And my parents, I guess this is one of the cool things that they did for us, is they got us into it. So we would catch bullfrogs across the street in these fishing ponds. We had these in our garage. We had these old clawfoot tubs, cast iron clawfoot tubs out in our garage with a lid on top, like a screen lid. And we would raise the bullfrogs up in there and we would feed them freaking balls of hamburger meat, raw hamburger meat.
How would they eat it? You would just kind of poke it with a stick and make it move and they'd bite it?
We would force it into their mouth. Knowing what I know now, I wouldn't do things like this, but I was a kid, my parents didn't know any better. And that was what we were told by an old timer. He said, if you want a good frog, you need to feed it hamburger meat. So we fed those frogs raw hamburger meat.
Similar to the possum, you trap a possum and then you force feed them like bread, right?
Yep. Yeah. If you want to eat a possum, you trap it and all you do is feed it white bread for a long, long time until it gets really fat. And then you slaughter that bad boy and eat it. And that's when they say its meat's good. So the bullfrog competition there, or the frog jump competition, it was like there are these like big parachutes on the ground out in this field, and they would spray them down with a water hose. And you go up to the finish line and you do whatever you gotta do to get your frog to jump. And I don't remember the details. I think it was like 3 jumps, maybe. The judges would judge 3 jumps, and then if it is 3 jumps, let's just say for the sake of this description, it is 3 jumps. And then they measure the total distance that the frog jumped. And that's it.
Oh,
and
I see what you're saying. It's not like a finish line thing. It's like the distance that 3 jumps will get.
Yeah, you're not like competing at the same time. They call you up, they're like number 3. And you come up there with your bullfrog and set it down. But a lot of losers would show up with like toads or tree frogs or something.
Dude, I bet you could like get a big tree frog. I bet they can cover some distance.
Well, knowing what I know now, like with the access to exotic animals that we have, we could probably dig into this and find like the number one, the
Dude,
number one frog.
What if we just get into it for the summer and then we just like keep testing out different frogs and then you enter again as a grown man and just destroy all the little kids and just win?
Yeah. I think that's a good plan. I'm into it. There's these frogs in Africa, not the African bullfrogs, not the real fat African bullfrogs. Mm-hmm. They're called African Goliath frogs.
Yeah.
They're the largest frog in the world. And I don't know. They might be available for purchase now. Imagine going there with an African Goliath frog.
But those are the ones that jump and like bite each other's faces and then wrestle.
Those are the African bullfrogs that I'm talking about.
So an African bullfrog, those are the ones that are underneath the mud for like 8 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And when it rains once, they just like squirm up out of the mud and just start like fighting and laying eggs and stuff, basically, right? Yeah, because the African bullfrog almost looks like it has the same conformation as like a pixie frog. Does it not? Or is it just the face?
No, the African Goliath frog looks like a giant bullfrog.
Okay.
And the African bullfrog looks like the pixie frog, Pac-Man frog, that type of thing. Yeah. So the African bullfrog, no, that thing couldn't jump very far.
The pixie frog, people have probably seen, like, those are the ones that there's always videos of people like feeding them like full-grown mice and stuff.
Feeding them mice, yeah.
Yeah, which you're not really supposed to feed them mice too often. I read. I never really got into them. They didn't really do much for me.
Yeah, being a frog man, I of course had some of those bad boys myself. Yeah. The African Goliath frog is like, all right, so I mean, it's probably like 3 feet long from nose to the tip of its toes if it's stretched out.
That's
and
insane.
They're built like a bullfrog,
like bigger than me.
Yeah, pretty much.
But all leg though.
You would run from one if you saw one.
Yeah, it'd probably eat me.
Yeah, man. It was the scrubs would show up with like wood frogs or like gray tree frogs or toads.
Yeah.
American bullfrog. That was the only way to go back then.
Really? What about a leopard frog? Yeah, a leopard frog can jump, dude.
Like they could jump for their size, but they're not gonna, a good sized bullfrog is gonna jump way farther. But if we're talking like, inches per gram of frog, does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So like if the leopard frog was the same size, bullfrog's the way to go, basically. That's all I got to say about that.
And what was your go-to technique to terrorize the squirrel, the frog to jump?
It was gone, get.
Was it really? Is there any footage of this?
No, this is before those days. No, I don't even remember what my go-to was. I think it was like slapping the parachute behind him.
Oh, it's probably a nice loud noise, yeah.
Yeah. But every year my dad told me that it was the same frog, and it was Jeremiah. So every year we caught Jeremiah because we released him too. It's just like a passage bird,
The passage bullfrog, man.
Yeah, it's a passage bullfrog. We released him after the competition back to the pond. The way we caught him was pretty cool too. My dad would take a fishing pole and he would dangle the line in front of him. He wouldn't like cast. He would just like, it was a really long rod. He would dangle it and there was no hook, but he would tie a fly of a fly.
Oh, okay.
Like with little plastic wings and everything on it. So it looked like a little house fly. He would dangle it over a bullfrog that was sitting on the edge of the water, and the bullfrog would jump out and grab it, and he would like whip it onto the land, and I would run up with a net and net it on the land.
Did you shield yourself and wear gloves so that you didn't ruin the bond with the frog?
I should have known what I know now. I would like throw a towel over the frog so it can't see me.
Yeah. Well, actually, you might want to keep the level of trauma high in order to instill the maximum amount of fear to the frog, because it's all based on fear.
Yeah, it's fear based. You
It's
don't
fear
want
based. Yeah.
you don't want aggression. You want fear.
Yeah. You want
Out of a
to
passive bullfrog.
the passive bull. You got to make sure that you have a lot of fear, and then you got to channel that fear into leaps.
Exactly.
Leaps per ounce.
Exactly.
So you got to maximize your leaps per ounce.
Yeah, and you need to hit a sweet spot of grams too. You don't want the thing to be obese.
No, yeah. You got to keep
You're
it.
looking
You got
for
to keep
a
it
fit.
lean.
You want a fit bullfrog.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive to increase the weight too much or decrease it. You want a perfectly fit passes bullfrog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a bullfrog that's too fat and a bullfrog that's too low will act the exact same way.
Their behaviors are very similar. Right?
It's so hard to tell the difference.
Yeah. So you either bring them up,
we would go out and
go back down.
We would go out in the yard and spray the yard down with water, like with the water hose, and then take the frog out there and like chase it around the yard and let it jump for exercise.
So you were literally like training it.
Literally. Like
I bet now you could probably just do it in your bathroom, just spill a little water on the tile and then just do like restrained pursuits, like restrained fear leaps. You easily could, dude. You could take this as far as you want, it sounds like.
And if you real deal win the competition, like there's like a national frog jump too. It was in California.
Oh, you're going to destroy the California people, man.
I mean, we know what those Californians are like. So
yeah, they don't like
shouldn't be a problem.
They think they're better, but they're not.
Exactly.
Yeah, they like to talk a lot, but there's hawkers and there's talkers and there's jumpers.
There's talkers and there's froggers.
Yeah, there you go. That's great.
Yeah, I would love to get back into it. Maybe I will.
I think you should just like live vicariously through Abigail and just get Abigail into it.
I would love to get her into it.
Yeah.
I would love to.
I definitely think you could get a bullfrog real fit. I bet there's some good techniques, man.
If you apply falconry principles to a bullfrog, I bet it's ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. You just put like a weighted creance on it and like strap it to its back leg so it has to drag it every time it jumps, dude. Yeah. And just terrorize it to get it to keep jumping.
But for the time being, my interest is pursued by this.
I know that sound.
So this year I'm going to try and bag my first turkey.
I know. You were telling me you're very excited, and I think you're kind of trying to hide your excitement with me. I'm getting the vibe like you're trying to lay it down when we're talking about it, like nonchalant, but
no. You
went out and bought a new gun. He bought 4 new calls. Get your camo.
It just came.
Oh, that's sick. Is it break open? Yeah, it's break open.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So for those of you listening, I got a Henry 12 gauge single shot turkey gun camoed out. I like to do things. I like to break things down to as simple as I possibly can for hunting. Yeah. Like I'm not interested in, semi-automatic 12 gauge or anything like that. I even opted against the double barrel just for a single shot. If I can't get it done with the single shot, it doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, it's a good philosophy. It's a nice little gun, though.
It was expensive. They think a lot of that single shot.
And it was way easier.
There's a single shot 410, which looking at the patterns of when you 410 compared to a 12 gauge, having never turkey hunted before, I want to give myself a little more edge than that. The pattern is, it's not tighter, but there's a big difference between a turkey target shot with a 12 gauge versus a 410. And plenty of people are killing them with 410s. I know that.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily about the gun. It's more about the choke. Does that thing have a choke on it? Can you add another choke if you wanted to?
It has a choke on it. I'm going to go tomorrow and see what the pattern looks like. I just got the gun last night.
You use paper plates? You're going to get you're going to do turkey target?
I got turkey targets.
You went all out, huh?
I went all out.
What camo are you using?
I'm going old school. So
burlap sack?
I took some brown and green paint to a burlap sack.
That would probably work, honestly.
It's my old scarecrow costume from Halloween, and I just spray painted it. No, I went old school with full foliage mossy leaf, or excuse me, mossy oak full foliage. It's a vintage pattern that they brought back.
Nice, like a ghillie suit, basically, kind of.
So I probably spent way too much money on this stuff, and I almost guarantee that I'm going to realize that I need like half of what I bought. But yeah, I bought, they call it like a leafy thing. It's a leafy hoodie and some leafy pants. I had to buy the vest too. Getting into this it's not cheap.
No, it's not. What are you doing for your face and head?
So I bought a mask. I bought a hat. All the same camo pattern, which I'm not sure how important that is for turkey.
Depends where you sit.
The base of a tree.
Well, I mean, you want to blend in.
Yeah, it's amazing how a uniform pattern of camo. When you look at pictures of people just sitting somewhere like at the base of a tree and they're wearing the same camo pattern, it's incredible. Part of the reason I went with this is because Mossy Oak, some of their patterns were out of stock. I was just going to go with Bottomland, which just looks just like the base of a tree. But then I thought this was cool, just going old school with it.
Yeah, I like it. Are you where you planning to go? Looking for spots? You have a spot?
So I'm hoping a listener will guide me and take me to a turkey to reach it. No, I'm joking. I'm going to friend of the show, Marshall Davis, Falcon Father 69 on Instagram.
Yeah.
He has seen turkey at his house. He's never hunted them. He's lived there a long time. He said he's seen them around. He said I'm welcome to come try. So I'm going to go there first. And then later on, a friend of the show who will be coming on, Matthew Morris, he lives out the coast. He has the Bowyer podcast.
Yes, you were on that podcast.
I was on that podcast. We did a field recording on his dock on like the intercoastal river there. It's like the audio is horrible.
Is it?
Super windy. It's really rough. But he's going to take me out to coastal North Carolina at a certain point.
Okay.
And then later season, a friend of the show, Travis Whitaker, said that he'll take me out, and he turkey hunts every year. So it's one of the things that's like, I have nobody to show me how to do it. My dad wasn't a turkey hunter. I've never done it. I get the concepts all my life. There were turkey, we would get a hold of a turkey call, mouse calls and slate calls, mess around with them as a kid. But it's just never something I did. So I'm kind of going out of my comfort zone, trying to learn something new. It's cool. The type of pursuit I like, just it's pretty immersive, sitting there, trying to call them in, be as quiet and still as you possibly can. You probably see a lot of cool, interesting stuff while you're out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's some of the best turkey hunting videos I've seen is, when there's no turkeys involved, when there's like a bobcat coming in or like a coyote sneaks by and they shoot it, and then a couple of good ones of like mountain lions coming in and bears and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, yeah, you'll probably see some stuff. Probably see some snakes too, just sitting there. Maybe you'll see some cool snakes.
So there's rattlesnakes at both places I'm going.
What kind?
Cane breaks, what we call them here, but it's timber rattlesnake.
Now, I was talking to my son about this. He was watching some documentary, and I couldn't really give him a straight answer, and I felt kind of foolish. Like the diamondback, they're very large, right? They're a large species of rattlesnake.
Yeah. So when you think of diamondbacks, there's the red diamondback, which I'm not really even thinking about, but there's basically two. Is you have the eastern diamondback and western diamondback. Eastern diamondback is like coastal southeastern snake. So North Carolina, there's been records of some on the coast here, but like basically none. And then south, through South Carolina, and they'll kind of start to come inland the farther south you go, and then they're in the entire state of Florida, and then they kind of hook over, and they probably go into Louisiana, Mississippi. I'm not sure without looking at a map.
Now, what are the size of them? Like, what are the lengths and like?
There's stories I think of, off the top of my head, 8 feet, 10 feet, maybe even 12 feet. It's the largest venomous snake in America.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say, because I remember seeing a video somewhere of one like eating a cottontail rabbit or something out west.
Oh, so the eastern diamondbacks will definitely eat cottontails.
So they're that big that they'll eat a cottontail.
Oh, absolutely, they're massive.
Okay. So it's a big. Okay, so it's a big snake. Because he was asking me which one's bigger, and I was stumped for a second.
Well, western diamondbacks are not as big. They're still big, but they're not as big. But eastern diamondbacks get massive.
Okay.
Absolutely massive. Like 6 feet is nothing for one of those to be 6 feet.
Oh, gotcha.
And I don't know that any have been killed or caught that were 12 feet, but there's stories of them being that big back, way back in the day before people thought to actually measure them or record them.
Right.
But they're, 8 feet. Let's just look while we're here, because there's probably some snake nerds who are going, they don't get 8 feet long.
I also watched the video, speaking of like back in the day and like recordings.
All right.
Did you? Oh yeah.
According to Google, real quick. According to Google, the largest recorded eastern diamondback was a massive specimen measuring 7 foot 9 inches, weighing 34 pounds.
Wow, it's bigger than Lady.
And then
that's huge.
So western diamondbacks are probably like, let's see what largest western.
So they're eating like squirrels, cottontails, birds.
There's no way that this is true, but okay. So it says commonly 3 to 5 feet, large specimens around 7 feet, which I actually really don't think that that's true.
That they get that big?
That westerns get that big. Cottonmouths get massive too. Eastern cottonmouths.
I didn't realize that they get big. And also, the only snake that I kind of was familiar with getting very big, because I've seen them, and my brother-in-law caught one, is like the freaking black rat snakes. They're like 13 feet long. They're huge.
They don't get 13 feet.
Dude, that thing was like, it had to be no less than 10 feet. I mean, it was huge.
No, they don't get that big.
Look it up, right? Look on Googles. Ask the Googles, my dad would say.
Yes, the Googles, you prick.
Ask the Googles, you prick.
Largest black rat snake on record, 8 feet 5 inches.
All right, never mind.
I mean, that's still massive, though.
It's a big snake. Yeah, it's a big snake.
I've caught them that are longer than I am tall.
Yeah, that's probably why. Because my brother-in-law was like 6 foot, and he was holding it and it was like significantly longer than he was tall.
Yeah, when I was speaking of being kids, my dad, I mean, God, I guess he believed this, unless he's just like a super convincing liar. He said when he was a kid in West Virginia, there was an old man that had a pet black snake that was like free range on his property. And he claims that he would let the snake drink moonshine.
Of course.
He said they would walk by his house, and he said he'd be sitting out there, and he swears he saw the snake come up and like get a little sip of moonshine out of a bottle.
A little libation. Why would a snake? I mean, they can smell so well. Like, why would it drink like battery acid? Like, what doesn't even make sense unless he just like kept force feeding it. Force feeding it a little moonshine until it started getting the shakes if it didn't get some moonshine. So every day it would slink on over there, slither over there, and get a little.
I wouldn't be surprised if the guy was like just messing with the kids and like had water in it or something like that.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But then again, maybe some old, we're talking like the 50s in the mountains of West Virginia. So my dad, this old kook might have been pouring moonshine down a black snake's throat.
Yeah, I mean, like I just said, the only way to do it would be to get it like just become a raging alcoholic black
I don't
snake.
think it would live very long drinking moonshine.
Well, after seeing that video of that old gentleman with a 50-year-old snapping turtle that's like dog tame that he pets and like scratches its neck and stuff.
Yeah.
And after that, you know that video, obviously. After seeing that, I'm
I used
like,
to be Facebook friends with that guy.
really?
Yeah.
And then what happened? You got in an argument about subspecies, and then you're not friends anymore.
He probably saw the type of weirdo stuff I post and unfriended me. My guy.
yeah, changing your profile picture.
All right, guys. So springtime activities. That's basically what we're trying to do. So we're gearing up to get new birds for the year. I'm hoping to get another goshawk. Casey's hoping to get another goshawk.
Like I need one.
Yeah, like you need one. I am interviewing the red tail that I flew last year. She's super tame. Like I went out there today and she's fat as a pig. She's just super chill. It's whenever a bird is really tame, I'm like, what's wrong with this thing?
Yeah.
Like she's dying.
Yeah.
She's blind, something like that.
Yeah.
So I actually need to give her West Nile vaccine. Friend of the show, Brittany from New Jersey. Mm-hmm. She has she educated me on giving your bird West Nile vaccine. So I think I'm gonna do it with that red tail.
And what was that? Don't puncture the air sac and kill your bird.
Yeah. So one of my apprentice, Jennifer Bates, she was a vet tech. So she will be doing it. I will be buying and she will be doing.
Awesome. Yeah, I heard it's really simple to do. And I know a guy, I just brought that up because I just heard a story yesterday from a guy. And the story might be told on this episode or maybe even was already told. But yeah, he had a passage tiersold North American that he flew for like 8 seasons. And it was an absolute monster. It was his favorite bird. Takes it in for the West Nile vaccine, and they went too deep in the keel, in the chest, went right into the air sac and just filled the air sac up with freaking vaccine.
Killed it.
Bird was dead, and like by the time he got home, bird was aspirated and died.
Scary.
It is scary. Yeah, you can't go too deep, man.
I would think you would probably want to go near the keel, right?
No, it is near the keel, but if you go too deep, it just slides through the ribs and goes right into the air sac.
Oof.
Yeah, the keel runs down and then cuts out, and then the ribs connect. So if you go just a little too deep, your bird it's going to kill the bird. Just get a small needle and go. I don't think it's that hard. My buddy Eric Swanson, he's going to come on the show. He's got like 20 birds for abatement and stuff, and he's always, all his expensive birds, he's always giving them the vaccine every year. So he just does it one after the other.
I think it's a good idea to do.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. Looking forward to the next season already.
Me too. I'm actually happy to have a break.
Oh yeah, we go so hard. Me and Casey both go so ridiculously hard and I'm sure most of you guys out there listening, you gals too, especially you gals.
You they thems also.
And they thems. We've been accused of being the MAGA podcast.
Yeah, definitely not these days.
We're actually very lib.
I'm kind of a lib these days. I just don't understand why we're going to war again. I'm just very, very confused.
Chill out, you lib. So
I just don't get it. Why are we spending money?
Yeah, so I don't even know what I was getting at.
No, springtime activities, West Nile vaccine, gearing up for next season, excited for your new bird.
Right.
Maybe we'll pull some Sharpies this year if we get the opportunity.
Actually, I may have a North Carolina opportunity for that too.
No way. How do I get my permit? I'm going to come with you.
I'll talk to you when we get off here. Okay. So, all right. A couple things I want to talk about. We lost a falconer, a very prominent falconer, to cancer. Steve Jones. Steve was the, I don't know that I am going to get the title correct, but he was the guy, if not the guy, one of the guys behind American Falconry magazine.
Okay.
He was a long winger out in Wyoming. He was one of those dudes who lived falconry, breathed falconry. He sponsored a friend of mine named Mike out in Wyoming as well. By all accounts, just a super dude. Super dude. He was a school bus driver by profession, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if you watch his American Falconry channel on YouTube, he kind of documents as he got diagnosed with cancer, and he's trying to hawk as long as he can. And he hung it up, and he died shortly thereafter. So rest in peace, Steve, and our hearts go out to all of his friends and family.
Yeah. And also Brian Bunce from New York just passed away about a month ago. And I didn't know Brian that well. I met him a couple times at some meets and stuff like that. But by all accounts, he was a, funny guy, unique guy. He flew all different birds, and he had health issues for a while. And he finally just, he passed away. And so his two apprentices, one was a general actually, and then his now orphaned apprentice is now in our circle, and we're going to go hawk on Saturday for the last hunt. Sunday, tomorrow, last hunt of the season. So we're going to get out, and Sean's a good guy. So I've been getting out with Sean, and it's just, it's going to be all of us one day, man. And I just hope it happens when you're in the field, honestly. I hope my bird eats, like I die and then my bird eats.
I've been scaring my daughter about heart attacks. I was telling her that all the men in my family all died of heart attacks. It's messed up, but I'm like, yeah, one of these days I'm not going to be around.
And then you just watch TV at night, and then you just clutch your chest and scare her. You're like, oh.
Maybe when she's a teenager, I'll do that.
Yeah, it's scary. It's going to happen one way or the other. It's got to be careful. And I
also want to, sorry, Casey.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to fellow podcaster John Munier.
Yeah, Munier,
as we know him on the Sporting Chance. John wrapped up the Falconry Chronicles podcast after, gosh, I don't even know how many years he did it.
Almost 7, I think.
Yeah. Long time, long run. He took over Falconry Told for a time and operated under Falconry Told. Then they split. John went off and did Falconry Chronicles. Falconry Told hasn't done anything as far as I know since John left. And John went as long as he could. He experienced some personal challenges in his life, and he tried to maintain the podcast, but I'm just going to say it, dude. I'm going to be honest. He felt a lack of support from the community for his show, and did not feel like it was something that was worthwhile to continue anymore.
Yeah. I think people, you take it for granted. You just, we were Monday, he was Tuesday. And I think just people, you just take it for granted. I'm just going to listen to this podcast on the way to work. It's always going to be there. And it's, it's a lot of effort that goes into doing these shows. And, one of the driving factors behind our show's continued success is the fact that it's a team effort. And when I say team, I mean Courtney. Courtney does all the editing. She packs the merch and ships it to you guys. Me and Aaron show up. We help in whatever way we can. I try to do the social media as best I can when I'm not covered in human feces at my job. And it's a lot of effort. And John was doing it all by himself. And, and we appreciated it. And, I texted him, I've been texting him, talking to him. I always try to check in on John, see how he's doing. We're not adversaries with Falconry Chronicles by any means. We're sister podcasts.
It's a big running joke.
It's just, it's a running joke. It's there's no animosity whatsoever. And I texted John and I said, bro, you can't stop. You have to keep going, because the problem is I can't stand listening to myself. And so I don't have anything to listen to now, because I'm not going to listen to myself ramble schizophrenically about like goshawks and nonsense, and I don't want to hear myself talk. So I would listen to John's show when I had time. And so now there's nothing else. And, there was falconry. There was, the Fat Bird, Ugly Dog, and Al's not really putting too much out these days either. So really, we're the only ones putting stuff out. And And you would think like, oh yeah, we're the only game in town. But it's like, no, because without competition and whatever your view on competition is, I'm not saying it in terms of like we're combatants. I'm saying it's without competition, there can be no growth and there can be no innovation, and something new can't come from it. And, I think John may pick it back up again when he gets stuff sorted out and situated with his living situation and his job and stuff like that. And we all deal with these stresses that come along with falconry and trying to find the time to fly your birds, maintain your birds, and still provide for your family, or, do what you need to do in the real world. And John just took a step away, and, so we hope he comes back at some point, but.
Well, you know why American Falconry magazines stopped is because they didn't feel the support from the community anymore. So Steve, who passed away, subscriptions were down, and not enough people were putting their money where their mouth was, and they literally they closed the doors on American Falconry magazine.
Yeah,
because the community wasn't supporting it financially.
Yeah.
And then I subscribed. And if you didn't, I get it, right? Sure, I get it. We only have so much money. But I'm a believer in putting your money where your mouth is. And me and Casey have sold a lot of merch. We've sold a lot, but we've put a lot of effort into marketing it. We've bought a booth. We set up at the New Jersey meet. We remind you guys on the show to buy merch. But if the amount of people that buy merch is like a fraction of the people that listen to the show.
Yeah, it's not even comparable.
Yeah.
If everybody that listened to the show on a monthly basis bought their size in a shirt,
we could quit our jobs. It's a totally free podcast. Like and the only ads you're experiencing are the people who sponsor the show at the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I've always thought it was really cheesy to like for you to be listening to this show and for something like manscaping to come up, or like,
or Onyx,
just a totally unrelated service that has nothing to do with us, like would pop up, like a mortgage company or something like that.
Yeah.
Quick mortgage or something.
Brainbet.com. You have a gambling problem, dial 1-800. Yeah.
Yeah, it's to me, I have zero interest in doing that. So,
I mean, unless they start offering us some crazy money,
unless they want to, I'm willing to sell out for the right price. But
listen, it's not necessarily a sellout, because every show that has integrity, whatever podcast, name your podcast, your favorite podcast, there's ads on that podcast, and that's because that offsets the cost of production to put on a good show. It costs a lot of money to put on a good show, and there has to be some financial, you have to recoup something, not for our time, right, not for anything like that, but the service that we're on, streaming, microphones, the new computer I'm using, the software, these stupid softwares that we use to cut some of the clips up and stuff like that. This is like, a monthly subscription fee that we pay. And it's not cheap. It's really not cheap at all. Like nobody would pay it in their right mind unless they were recouping something from it.
My goal is to keep the podcast ad free. You'll hear the sponsorships at the beginning of the show, but I want to keep it ad free. And the way we can keep it ad free is by selling merch. So if you have not bought something, please consider going to sportingchancepod.com to pick up a t-shirt or sticker pack or hat, something like that. Your support is much appreciated. But I think as a community, as the falconry community, which is, let's be honest, that's what the show's mostly become, is falconry. We got to put our money where our mouth is and support.
Yeah. Aaron does it more than me, because he'll.
I bought a Falconry Chronicles hoodie, and this is not a slight. This is not a slight at all. The shop was up and running for quite a while, and you can see your order number when you buy something on there. And I was like order number 7 or something like that after like months and months and months of the shop being active.
Yeah.
Like that's rough. And the stuff was nice. The hoodie was nice. The art was done by friend of the show, Brett Reeves. super high quality, expensive art. Like Brett, and that's not a knock against Brett. Like he's a professional artist.
He's an artist.
He's the real deal. Like,
yeah,
that's what I mean. Like show your support for this stuff by paying people what they're worth. You don't like, if you're a contractor, you don't like being talked down when you're on the job for less money. I don't like counseling kids for pennies on the dollar. Like, show some support. So anyway, yeah, John didn't get the financial support for the show, so he closed it up.
Yeah,
and that's what we're running into now. And
we're not running into. We're not going anywhere.
I'm saying we as a community.
Yeah, but I feel like the community's always been that. Just ask any raptor breeder. Falconers are not known for spending money.
I think they need to get over that, dude. It's like, look at I've got the turkey hunting industry. Of course, there's more turkey hunters than falconers, but dude, there's like no end to turkey hunting retailers.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
It's ridiculous. Like there's so many of them. There's so many companies that make calls. There's so many people that make camo and guns and you name it. It's huge. It's a huge industry. And how often do you need to buy a suit of camo?
Once in your life, basically. Isn't it? I don't know.
Turkey, the season's a month.
Yeah, it's a month if you're lucky in your state.
Yeah, it's probably not like falconry where you're going out 6 days a week to do it. You're probably going out 2 or 3 days a week until you get your 1 or 2 turkeys. But anyway, that long rambling rant is just me asking people to support the falconry community and support those artists out there. Support the shows, support the podcasts. You guys know the deal. Yeah,
Aaron's taking he's taking the whole vibe of the pod down right now. But that's fine. It needed to be said. And
it's kind of hard not to when we're talking about where we opened up with Steve passing away.
Yeah, but no, Aaron's right. And we ain't getting rich off any of this stuff. We invest a lot of money in the merch. If you like the merch, I mean, we're selling merch all the time. It's not like we don't see the support, but it's definitely not, a significant amount of the listeners are buying the merch. It's a smaller percentage of the people buying the merch. So if you want us to, continue ad free, buy some merch. Otherwise, you're going to hear some BS freaking rain bet ads mid show that you don't want to hear. Because we can just flip that switch on. We could just flip that switch on and pay our mortgages off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm not trying to flip that switch on. We're trying to keep it authentic for you guys.
We're like those Sporting Chance NWO stickers. We're not for sale.
We're not for sale, man.
Sporting Chance podcast, not for sale.
Yeah, like we even were in talks with a falconry organization contemplating, giving us some money as a potential sponsorship, and we and Aaron we just agreed that it was not for us. Because if we take that money, now we have to watch what we say. We can't speak openly on certain topics, and we can't criticize if criticism is necessary. And,
exactly.
And so, we're the voice of the people, and if something needs to be said publicly about something that's taboo.
Unless you're Canadian with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And you poach game birds. Otherwise, we're your voice.
Yeah, if you road hunt in Canada and you smell like Bigfoot.
Patchouli oil. We are your voice.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. If you're not that person,
that
creature, then we will then we are your voice. But so that long-winded way of saying John had to step back, hopefully, momentarily, temporarily, till he gets everything situated, and then he'll come back stronger than ever, hopefully. But he was saying it for a while on multiple episodes that he wasn't feeling the support, and he finally had to, pull the plug. And listen, supply and demand. If people weren't enjoying it, they weren't enjoying it. I enjoyed listening to a Falconry Chronicles episode here and there when he had when he had a guest that I knew or somebody that looked interesting. But at a certain point, if he's trying to pay his bills and he's got stuff going on, he can't spend hours and hours and hours and money traveling and doing these interviews. It has to be he has to, at a certain point, he has to put himself and his family first. So that's what he had to do.
He was just looking for a way for it to make sense to keep doing it and
Correct.
to justify the time, because hours and hours and hours, like it's like to edit the audio, it's going to be at least the equivalent to what you recorded, probably twice.
Right.
So if it's a 2 hour, well, most of his were hours. So every podcast, he probably spent 2 or 3 hours editing the audio on it.
At least. And he had a very high standard for audio quality. So, he was going through that thing with a fine tooth comb.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And it is, John's we love John.
Yep. Shout out to John.
As unlovable as he is, we love him.
Believe it or not.
And if you are not happy with the fact that John stopped the show, then message him and let's get a bunch of people messaging him to tell him to start it back up, and then go on his website, buy some merch after you buy our merch.
Oh, definitely after you buy our merch.
After. And also, this goes straight in, and we don't get any type of feedback. We get feedback from inside, from what do they call it in the government? Whistleblowers. We get some feedback from whistleblowers in NAFA and stuff like that. Unofficial channels, but their membership has been going up significantly since we did that whole series, and we brought some issues to the surface. And on the same exact line of talking about the show and Falconers putting their money where their mouth is. The only thing in your life, like me, like Aaron, the only thing in your life besides your children or your grandma or whatever, or your wife, whatever, your husband, your partner, you look forward to doing is falconry. That's all you look forward. Like, that's what drives you is falconry. Do me a favor, not even me. Do yourself a favor and become a member of NAFA, and just join NAFA, because they're really trying to push the envelope with some of the stuff that we need done as falconers, and we need a united voice.
And tell them the Sporting Chant sent you.
Yeah, if you can leave a comment, say the Sporting Chant sent you, and that would mean a lot to us. Like I said, they're never going to come out publicly and put out a newsletter saying the Sporting Chants had an effect on membership. We're hearing it from other channels that we are having an effect on membership, and it means a lot to us if you would go and join NAFA, because we need to be a united front. The government doesn't want to deal with an individual falconer that has an issue. They want to deal with an organization that they can have some sort of discourse with. And I'm going to go.
In addition to NAFA, I'm a member of the American Falconry Conservancy.
Yes, them too.
Yep, go ahead and give them a look. Talk to them.
Yeah, and they ain't scared to litigate either. So
they've got a different perspective. So if you don't like the way that NAFA operates, check them out. And I would also consider joining NAFA and using your voice to direct NAFA in a way that you want to see it move.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a huge influx of newer falconers, and a lot of the falconers listening may be newer because podcasting is a newer thing. A lot of the old generation isn't sitting and listening to a podcast. It's the newer people like you, me, Aaron. I've been doing falconry for 20 years, but I'm a newer person. Like, we're the next generation of falconers. And if we want to see change in the organization, the only way to get that change is to join and start voting on who you want as your representatives in the falconry organization. So listen, we don't get anything in return. I'm just saying, put your money where your mouth is.
Do not support John Goodell at the Falconry Archives. He is on the enemy list. So no, if you listen to the pod, you can't support them anymore. You can't buy anything from Western Sporting either.
Yeah. If they're not gonna give Aaron a brand new trap because of one email, then you can't buy anything from Western Sporting. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they didn't do right by you. That wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. But in their defense, people are, people are probably giving them a hard time about, prices and buying stuff, and they may not be making money. So maybe they can't help you out. Maybe they literally just cannot help you out.
You know what? If that was the case, and they told me,
they're not going to tell you though, because it shows weakness. You can't show weakness.
Listen, Aaron, we would love to help you out on this one. I really hate that our trap did not meet your expectations. We would love to help you, but we financially can't afford it. I'd say bet.
You say bet like the kids in your school?
Yeah, I'd say bet. Unc.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So yeah, it's a yeah. Listen, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. It's just we're a smaller community, and there's I love to throw some money around. I love to buy birds I don't need.
I love to spend money.
I love spending money.
I love spending money. That's why this turkey hunting thing has been really good for me, because it's like there's no shortage of things for me to buy.
Yeah, Aaron loves it.
Oh, I'm so into it.
I love, and I also love, I don't know about you, Aaron, but I love getting other people to spend money. Like, they called me about this. Like,
I'll hang out with Ben Shelton, because that MFer will not open up his billfold, as we call it.
Yeah. I love when someone calls me like, "Oh, I'm thinking about buying a goshawk."
Do it.
I'm like, "Oh, awesome! What are you trying to buy? Oh, this guy's good. Oh, yeah, we trying to get tier, so we want a female. You going to have?" I love trying to watch people spend money
vicariously through them.
Yeah, I don't know why I get so excited when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm buying a goshawk. Oh, I'm going to spend this money with this person." I'm like, "Oh, sweet, awesome." Yeah, it gets me. Yeah, it gets me excited.
Tell them I sent you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good to know, because you're trying to get me to buy 5 goshawks this
year. You need spares, man. Listen, I don't care anybody. I mean, listen, I flew 3 goshawks last year. I got 4. I flew 3.
My goal is to get a new one this year, get her through the season, right? And then get another one next year.
No, you need 2 this year.
I'm good.
Let's be realistic, bro. You need 2 this year. We all need 2.
I'm all set. I appreciate you there. So on another note, we don't want to berate you guys with negativity, but let's just talk about some things. Rick, friend of the show, we've gushed about Rick in the past.
Can't say enough good things about Rick.
Oh my God, Rick!
I love that guy and his glasses.
We had a love fest in Ohio with Rick. Rick started a GoFundMe for friend of the show, Brian Hirschberger. Brian's home caught fire while making giant hoods, actually, for the falconry community. Rick, the GoFundMe, we're going to post a link. Rick posted it and it got a lot of activity fairly early on, but we were going to see if we could give it a sporting chance bump. So check it out. Links in the description of the show. If you Google Brian Hirschberger, that's HERSHBERGER GoFundMe, you'll see it. Show some support. You'll see in the donations, me and Casey both individually are gonna donate some money. Probably by the time the show airs, you'll see it.
100%.
Yeah. So check that out. Show some love to Brian. Yeah.
And we met them. We flew with them. The most beautiful people. It doesn't get any more sweet and kind. The nicest human beings on the face of the earth. And, they are not asking for any money from anybody. Yeah, Rick is a friend of theirs. He did it on his own. And they, and he's like, we were even asking him questions about it. Like, how can people find, and he almost didn't want to talk about it. Like, oh, I don't, because he just doesn't want people's money. He doesn't want a handout. And I really admire that. But Rick is doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. Go on GoFundMe. Brian Hirschberger on GoFundMe. Their whole entire freaking house burnt down making giant hoods for the falconry community. And the insurance company has given them I think it's being resolved now, but they're living in a camper in their driveway. And they got 7 dogs, 50 rabbits.
I was going to say a whole mess of rabbits.
A whole bunch of rabbits. And, his red tail that he was flying for years passed away in the fire. And just listening to him tell the story and actually walking through the carnage of his home, it was very upsetting. And it's really sad what happened to them. And it can happen to any one of us. And I think as the falconry community, we should really come together and just, for me, I spend $5.75 on an energy drink every morning. You know what I mean? I could throw $200 to try to help this family out. And so can you, more than likely. Go on the GoFundMe, throw a couple dollars, help out Brian. He's not asking for it. Rick's spearheading it, and we're coming alongside Rick, trying to help this family out. And the goal is to help them is minuscule, but I think we should meet and exceed that goal. So let's get on there. Let's show them some love, and let's help.
They haven't met the goal yet. The goal is only 3.5 thousand.
That's $3,500, Aaron.
Yeah.
3.5 thousand. That's $3,500.
Right. That was a big L on my part. And you know what? We're gonna leave it in to the show for authenticity, because what you see is what you get, baby.
We can't be bought.
$3,500. They've raised $3,175. So let's get that. Let's meet that goal, guys. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Casey, you got anything else before we wrap this up?
Man, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for this. I'm excited for this break. It's nice to have a break. And, I'm excited to get my hands on a new bird. I don't need a new bird, but I just can't stop.
Yeah.
Can't help myself.
It's a compulsion, huh?
Yeah. And I'm using the excuse that, maybe I'll breed one day, just to keep getting birds and flying them. So I'm excited. And I hope, all of my eggs, not all of my eggs, most of my eggs. And as of right now, there's one egg, literally one egg, in Seth Roy's in his hands for an Albitus tiercel this year. I have a few other irons in the fire, but I'd really like to fly a pure Albitus tiercel, or at least a white tiercel. Let's just say that. So that's what I'm excited about. You're excited about your new bird, Aaron?
I'm super excited for my new bird. I'm hoping to have a wild take IS this year.
Yeah.
I feel like that opportunity is slipping from our hands as American falconers, is the ability to get our hands on wild goshawks. As you know, how many states at this point have been outlawed?
Okay, so
take.
Okay, so let's just give the audience a little insight into the back channels as to what is going on here in this country right now. So there is a guy, I'm not going to say his name because he's the kind of guy that'll try to sue us or something if we say his name. We're going to get a little bit more info about this person at a certain point if it becomes...
There'll be a Sporting Chance expose.
I mean, it needs that. It really does, because this guy is out of his mind. And basically, I don't want to say single-handedly, but this individual is a biologist. He despises falconry, from what I gather. And he is doing everything in his greedy, despicable paws to get IS take of goshawks and passage take of goshawks outlawed in as many states as he can. So he is the one that was behind shutting down IS and passage take in PA. Okay. He slithered his way up to, what was it, Minnesota?
Michigan, I think.
Michigan. And he got Michigan shut down with his fraudulent studies, by the way.
My understanding is that Michigan was a really easy place to find nests and pull chicks.
Of course it was. And a falconer that's that has some means to him. He invested thousands of dollars of his own money to have this study analyzed by a third party, and the third party concluded that the study was completely fraudulent and had no scientific evidence behind it. So basically, this guy gets a team of people together, children from a college, and says, we're going to go find goshawks and see how many are in the state. And they go out for a couple weekends and play calls. If they don't receive any calls in return from breeding pairs or find physical nests, they just say that there's no goshawks in the state. Essentially, that's their study. Okay. And then they use that a bunch with a bunch of other, scientific jargon to petition the state to shut down the take of goshawks in that state. So they did it in PA. They did it in Michigan. And now we just found out, because we have eyes and ears everywhere. So if you're running your mouth, we hear it. Believe me. And we know who you are. Literally, I'm not even joking. We know who you are. We have a lot more support than we do haters. So if you open your mouth, we hear about it. So I know who you are.
We know, baby. We know. We're like Santa Claus.
I know where you live. And literally. And under a bridge. And he has just requested permission to conduct a study on goshawk numbers in Maine. Okay. So it looks as though he has set his sights on Maine to try to get Maine shut down. And thank God for us. I mean, there's nothing to be thankful for yet because he's going through the legal process, and the state can't bar him from doing his study because I guess he's with some organization that they can't really tell him not to. But the state is very pro falconry and friendly to us, so they're trying to make it difficult for him. Allegedly, I don't have any info other than hearsay, so everything I'm saying is allegedly. Also, it's true. So now he has basically put Maine in his sights to try to get Maine shut down. And if we were to lose take in Maine as a country, that would almost be catastrophic because I've physically seen all the nests. I've seen the amount of goshawks up there. There's a pile of goshawks up there. And in all those states, Vermont, those states are goshawk territory. So if that were to happen, it would be a huge problem. So this guy needs to be.
But you know how the falconry community works?
Why are you laughing? Aaron's like chuckling the entire time.
I'm laughing because the way the falconry community works is they're listening and they're going, "Well, I'm never going to take a goshawk in Maine, so what do I care?"
That's literally how they think, unfortunately. And listen, we're all guilty of thinking like that. I'm never going to fly an eagle, so why would I care if it gets opened up? You know what I mean? Who cares? What happens when they come after red tails next? What are you going to do then?
Falconry needs to adopt the same mentality as the NRA does about gun legislation.
Yeah.
Is the NRA will not give an inch.
Don't tread on me, brother.
They will not give an inch on gun legislation.
Good. Yeah.
And the way they see it, though, is it's a slippery slope. And you once you give, they just take and take and take.
100%.
And I think falconry could potentially be the same way. So,
well, falconry, I don't think falconry will ever be in danger of being outlawed completely, but they could make it very difficult and cumbersome for us to continue to do it.
Did you see that legislation with dogs that's out right now?
Yeah, and I think didn't it pass? Because I saw some post on Army of Orange or something on Facebook, and they said, okay,
it might have passed one of the chambers, but I doubt it'll get all the way. But that stuff is, it sounds good to your average person. It sounds like they're preventing animal cruelty, and good luck convincing a politician to vote against something that somebody could say like, oh, they're pro animal cruelty.
Yeah, it's very easy to manipulate the wording. Same thing with like greyhound racing, like horse racing. I don't know much about horses. I just know that I was told that with my temperament, it'd probably just kill me. So I should stay away from horses. I forgot who told me that. Somebody who was very, well informed about horses. But with dogs, like, dude, you own a lurcher or a greyhound, like, and you're going to tell them they can't run anymore. Like you might as well just torture the dog at that point. So I don't understand how racing a dog is like torturing the dog, like how that could even be spun in any other way than just nonsense. You know what I mean? Make it illegal to bet on it then.
Here's the article on it 5 hours ago from Outdoor Life magazine. Planting birds for your pointer, that's gone. A vague provision in the Farm Bill would make it impossible to train your hunting dog. The current language, which is designed to ban greyhound racing, would also effectively outlaw certain types of hunting with dogs and training with live birds. So the provision is part of HR 5017, also known as the Greyhound Protection Act, which was inserted into the Farm Bill during a House Agriculture Committee hearing on March 3rd. Although the bill appears to be focused on ending greyhound racing, it also includes a ban on open field coursing, live lure training, because of the vague language of that specific provision, which doesn't name greyhounds, the ban could also extend to hunting scenarios where a hunting dog is legally chasing rabbits, coyote, or other game. It would also affect practices that are essential to properly developing a bird dog, namely the use of live birds in training. The bill would only allow for lure training with inanimate objects. No live birds, says Brian Lynn, the vice president of the Sportsmen's Alliance.
Yeah.
So this is the type of sneaky stuff that makes its way in. And, you never know. There could be a provision that says something like, there was some talk of Bob Pendergrass, my sponsor, my falconry sponsor, Bob Pendergrass. He had said there was language at one point in time that I think was taken out of some sort of legislation that labeled it animal cruelty to pit one animal against another.
Yeah, that was a big deal back in the day. I remember that floating around.
Yeah, which falconry, of course, could be defined as pitting one animal against another.
Yeah.
So
as long as you're not there with a glove on your hand.
This stuff is sneaky, man.
It's
very sneaky.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there who are subhuman and do not run a dog, you may not care about this, but
no, they're not subhuman, Aaron. That's so disrespectful. They're filthy, dirty peasants.
they're pigs.
Just kidding.
They're pigs and they don't want to be bayed by a dog. That's the problem.
That's what it is.
Is that this stuff is so sneaky that if sporting dogs falls, which, my God, sporting dogs predate human history, like written human history.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, it's insane.
This is one of those things where you don't want to live in this world anymore. You want to take it back 200 years.
Yeah. It's crazy. It really is crazy. It's like we've been doing this stuff for thousands of years, and now we got some dude on a scooter with a freaking chai latte in his hand, like telling us how we should live and how we should interact with nature. Like, bro, just shove that thing where you like to shove it and mind your own business. There was this
the post you made of some of the highlights from Ohio. Somebody commented, and you didn't even, I don't know if you even,
I didn't engage. I wanted to sit and read it and then engage with him, but Rick was doing a great job.
I swooped in.
Oh yeah. What'd you do? You said, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, my friend.
So he said, and I'm trying to find it really quickly.
Aaron's known for being real nasty with negative comments.
No, man. This is my style. So this is my style. The guy says, there's something very wrong with you weirdo sadists. Were you abused as children, or is it just weak minds and suppressed insecurities and incompetence? I said, all the above.
That was a great response. Yeah. That was great.
Oh, and then you chimed in. You said, oh, you must be new around here. And then Rick just goes for like the low hanging fruit. He finds like pictures of this guy. And
Rick. Yeah, Rick is just ripping the guy apart for his appearance, which was fun.
So anyway, people,
the general public, it's not necessarily the general public's view of falconers and hunters. It's just people that have a preconceived notion of what it is that we do. And, we talked on another episode about us, my interaction with that guy harassing us. And it's like, yeah, you always want to put a good foot forward with the general public and stuff like that. But at a certain point, like, bro, listen, bro, you want to do the stuff that you do that I have very strong feelings about and that I do not support and I want nothing to do with. I don't say a single word to you. Do what you feel like doing. I won't bother you. Don't bother me. Stay out of my business. I'm not doing anything wrong, and just move along. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel. Like I've never gone on some page where someone's talking about something. I'm just being so vague not to get us canceled.
No. One time we caught you. Me and Harrison caught you.
Yeah.
There was and I'm not going to say the details of what it was, but there was a post, and you see down in the comments NJ Falconry, and it's just a puking emoji.
Yeah, you guys got to be careful there, because Instagram, like if you're friends with somebody and you comment something, it shows like the person's comment like underneath the video,
right at the top of the video,
or if you even like it. So if it's like something you don't want everybody that you know seeing, you know, like some woman,
don't say like "ooh, daddy," like, or something like that.
Or like very beautiful. Like don't make any of those comments, because like your loved ones can see them, because it pops up as the first thing that they see without even clicking on the video.
I love catching my boys.
I catch people all the time, bro. And I catch people and on certain posts, and I'm like, bro, I knew I kind of liked this guy, but now I really like this guy. Dude, this guy's chill.
You guys aren't going to catch me slipping. That's all I got to say.
Bro, I probably slipped by accident a couple times, and I'm like worried about it now. But yeah, so no, I try not to, but yeah, I may put an emoji here and there. But I'm not going to get into a back and forth with somebody about their, you know, their beliefs on, you know, insert whatever controversial topic or taboo topic that I don't agree with. Yeah, like I'm not gonna.
He just started that new philosophy this year. So.
Yeah, 10 minutes ago I started.
All right, guys. Thank you for putting up with this rambling episode. We appreciate it, and we will catch you next week.